good afternoon. This is Dee, and I am here with another episode, actually, my first episode of Dee's Verdict. This is my channel where we go over a little bit of reality TV and give a review and what I call my verdict on the episode. So I'm going to start with Belle Collective, Season 2, Episode 1. I would do Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I am really not sure if I'm going to pick them up at the beginning of the mid-season that starts of season 4, like in September. It's been giving me a lot of love and hip-hop vibes. So we have new bells and new babies. This is the episode of the title of season 2, episode 1 on Belle Collective. Everybody is back except for Dr. Tamara Lyles. Dr. Antoinette Lyles, because she was a dentist, and I was pretty sure or that she would be focusing on her dental practice, and wasn't quite sure how that would play out in this season. But she didn't come back, and I'm not surprised, because running a dental practice or any type of medical practice where you're giving patient care can be really busy and time consuming, because you want to give your patients the best care possible. This would have been a new office for her, and she wanted to make sure it got the best start possible. So there's a new intro, new music, and we have updated wigs and makeup. We see that we're going to meet a new Belle this episode, SOGUCCI, but that'll be later on. So, the ladies have glowed up. Like, we can tell it's new, better wigs, better makeup. They decided, to step it on up a little bit. So we start out, we see Latrice. She began season 2 by cooking breakfast for Zaddy. That's Cliff Rogers, her husband, but she calls him Zaddy. And she admits that she had daddy issues in season 1, so don't come for Latrice. She already admitted that why she called him Zaddy. So she cooking breakfast, but I can't really tell if Latrice is really comfortable in the kitchen, but she looked like she did pretty good. And she happened to look really good while doing it. So Cliff come in. She gets off the phone with her publicist, Melanie, and they're planning a high fashion tea and stuff. So Cliff come in, Zaddy come in and eat the breakfast, and they talk and chit chat. And in her confessional, Latrice admits that Cliff at one time mentioned to her about retiring. We all know Latrice has a successful hair business, that she is a self-made millionaire out here with vending machines, girl, with hair in them, y'all. So look, I'm not mad at her about that, and I wouldn't want to retire either, because there is a 20-year age difference between them, and I can feel Latrice on not wanting to have a baby. So his daughter comes in, and she is his youngest child, and she comes in, and they talk, and Cliff takes this opportunity to bring up maybe Latrice might want to have a baby, because the daughter going off to college, and the house will be empty. Latrice says that's a no, and she is definitely a 0 on a 10 out of 10 on wanting to have a baby. She is straight up for real about it. She don't look like she waffling or playing, Cliff. So I don't know why y'all didn't discuss this before the marriage, but that's not my business. So the stepdaughter even seemed amused by it. Like, she found it kind of comical, but she didn't react too much. So in the confessional later with Cliff and Latrice together, they're talking, and Latrice brings it back up again about having the baby. And Cliff says, kind of under his breath, because they had to use the subtitles, where he says, more than one way to have a baby. And Latrice done pulled out, well, pull a Glenn and we gonna have a divorce, equal divorce. So that's a little jab at what's going on between Letitia and Glenn, because they are separated and having some issues, and there's an alleged baby out here, but we'll get to that. So next, we see Letitia Pearson, who I was just talking about, who has the husband allegedly with a baby out here, y'all. And so she's moving on around, moving up. Like I said, everybody glammed up, bossed up, glowed up for season 2. Better wigs, better makeup, and the parts in their wig match their foundation and skin color. I'm so proud. So Tisha has opened her new office, Letitia Pearson Enterprises, that houses other businesses, and she is still running her women empowerment brunch association or whatever I forget what it's called. And she said she's been working out and practicing meditation and practicing self-care because she and Glenn are currently separated, and she and her son are staying at her mom's house. And women who've been there, we can all understand that this is hard for her, something to move on to a new spot, not living at her home that she's been in for years. She's been with Glenn since she was 17. They've been together a very long time. So we flashed to her sitting there talking, and she's saying she's working on multiple income streams, and she still has her idea of revitalizing the historical district Ferris Street in Jackson, Mississippi, that she has a fondness to due to her grandfather, and we understand that that is a very good goal to have, to better your community, try to rebuild the block. So she still says she still doesn't trust Glenn, that there's some rumors about a baby, like I mentioned, that there was an affair 8 years ago, but she heard there was a baby out here. So Glenn shows up. We see her later at her mom's house, where Glenn shows up to pick up their son, and she and her mother are talking. They have some poignant conversations, like I said, about moving back home, which a lot of people don't ever plan on doing when they leave home. And she left home pretty early. So Glenn tries to have a conversation with Letitia while he is picking up the son, but Letitia doesn't really want to have that conversation with him because it's not the right time. Her son is within earshot, and as any good mother would do, she said, "No, I don't want to have this conversation right now. We will talk later when we are in private about this." Glenn really looked like he's surprised that Letitia has been gone this long, and he hadn't talked her into coming back. So, because it sounds like they've been through this before, that he usually does better, she takes him back, and then it's the same repeat pattern. Sounds kind of familiar. Giving me Love and Marriage, Huntsville vibes. Martell Holt the third vibes. I don't know if that would make him the third, because I don't know if that little boy with Mel is Martell Jr. But anyway, so Glenn giving me those kind of vibes because he's just don't understand why Letitia is still this serious about this separation. So Glenn exit on out, and I felt really bad for Letitia because she shed some tears in talking to her mom, and I'm just glad her mother was there to support her, because we all need a village. We all need our mama sometime to pat us on the back. If she's here and available to do it, that is good that she has a support system. So her mother tells her to be strong, and she gives her something that I feel like is a really good tidbit. She tells her, "I think you've outgrown Glenn." And that's really some truth in that to me, because I don't think Glenn ever wanted Letitia's dreams or goals to manifest. Like, I think he thought they kept her busy and occupied while he was out on the road, on the boat, because he's gone a certain amount of time, and he's only home for 14 days at a time. So I think he thought this was all cute until she started manifesting it and actually putting some of this stuff into action. More Love and Marriage Huntsville vibes. It reminded me of Marcel and Tisha, of that same license he thought she wasn't going to use. But go on. Okay. So we click in and we see Marie in the next scene, honey. Marie is back and better. Marie's attitude was pretty much the same as it was in season 1. She's very confident. She owns multiple healthcare, mental health facilities in Mississippi. She has now opened an opiate addiction treatment center. So that's something new. The first Black woman to do that. Marie is making milestones out here. She out here being a real winner in these streets, getting this bag. I really do appreciate that about Marie. And I'm loving the new hair. She didn't come back blonde. She has called herself Marie Monroe. That's her new name. So, but we do talk about something serious with Marie in this episode, where she talks about her son's child. The mother of her son's child has been murdered in a drive-by shooting in Mississippi somewhere. Maybe, I'm not sure, so I'm not going to quote that. Well, she was killed. Excuse me. The young lady was killed, and now Jerez, which is Marie's son, her oldest child, stuck with this situation. I'm sorry, I wouldn't use the word stuck, but dealing with this situation, which he's young, the mother was young. Excuse me. And everybody knows that that's something hard to deal with, whether you're young or old, to deal with the loss of your child's your mother or father. So, but I'm concerned because Jerez had his own issues back in season one, and Marie has been carrying the entire family. She is very strong. She admits that she does a lot for her son. She still has other children, she has a total of 4 children. Jerez has 3 children by 3 different women, one that has now been murdered. So that means more responsibility and stress on Marie. And she does suffer from lupus. But anyway, I don't know if Jerez is going to step it up. I really hope he does. Marie does feel the need to say that she didn't have a problem reaching out to her mother because that's the reason why addiction is so close to her heart, because her mother just recently got out of rehab and has been battling a drug habit and addiction for years since she was a child. And so she says she's always willing to help her mom no matter what she's going through. So she's currently at her house right now. So Marie does have her hand full. She got a lot going on. And she says for everybody out here, she is not a lesbian. She is friends and business partners with Essie. She says she likes the D. So she made that clear. But she and Cedric still are not together. Cedric is her husband. They are not together in this season. She admitted that, said that in this episode, and they were having problems in season 1. So we're not surprised that we don't see Cedric. Tambra is back. Now, I didn't see the pink lipstick at first, but we all know that pink lipstick was hidden in season 1. I did not know. I know she said her favorite color was pink. But the pink lipstick, sis, way too much. Way too much. I toned it down. She did. She looks a whole lot better wearing different color lipstick. She can wear the pink, but just not all the time, Tambra. So Tambra is a radio host. She's in one of the only Black station in Mississippi. I think that's what they said. And that radio station became #1 during the pandemic, probably because everybody was sitting around in the house with not much to listen to, but I'm sure she's a good radio host. She seems very driven and very driven and very focused on her career. She says she has a new business venture which is a tea that she has put out. It's in a couple of stores. And she is still serious about having a baby. So we cut to Tambra. She's at the OBGYN office with her boyfriend, Desmond. And I have air quotes, Desmond, around boyfriend, air quotes. They've known each other for years. He says he is truly in love with Tambra, and it is important for him to have a baby by her. This is a follow-up on her past surgery for uterine fibroids, which are tumors that grow in the uterus. But anyway, something that a lot of Black women deal with. Do your research. So she says she's going to talk to the doctor and see what's going on post this surgery. And Tambra actually said they removed 39 fibroids. So, but we go back to Tisha. She back at the office, and she is back at her office, and she's talking to her friend Tisha. And Tisha is a longtime friend of Letitia. She said that they've been friends for almost 2 decades. So they talk, and it's weird that Tisha is here, and she looks kind of serious, and she says, I wanted to talk to you about something. It was about this friend guy that I told you that I had, that I've been seeing, for a while. And Tisha like, yeah, okay. What about it? So she like, yeah, that's Desmond, like the guy that Tambra is seeing. So, and she also made sure to ask Letitia, like, I didn't realize when you and Tambra became such great friends. And she even refers to Tambra as your fake friend or play friend or something to that nature. And so she makes it clear, like, I've been your friend longer, and I just want to let you know this once I saw them together. So Tisha knew him by his nickname, which is Greedy. Child, he too old for that nickname, but let's carry on, troops. Carry on, troops, carry on. Letitia is shocked and like clutching her imaginary pearls. Like, I don't know why you came in here with this tea. And ooh, this is hot. And so she like, ooh, she don't know what to do. She looking real serious. So Tambra and Desmond meet with are back with the doctor, and we find out they have been having protected sex, which is weird because they say they want to have a baby. They're trying to do this with the baby. They're serious. The doctor looks very confused because, like, why are y'all like, y'all want to have a baby, but y'all not doing what it takes to have a baby, like with condom. But anyway, okay, all right, they want to have a baby though. So let's see, we make it make sense about this baby. This made me confused. And she says, now that he's talking marriage, maybe this is the time to go ahead and start doing the active process of having a baby. So maybe Tambra want to put a ring on it. And no, I'm not knocking Tambra for having protected sex. No, let's not get that twisted. That's not what I'm saying. That at all. I'm not saying that. So Tisha and Tasha, they go back to her at that scene, and they still talking about Greedy, because I don't know if he greedy for food or greedy for something else. So they talking about him, Greedy, aka Desmond, aka Greedy, however you want to say it. Tasha says that she felt the need to say something about this, and clearly Letitia knew Tasha had a man, but Tisha says she never knew his real name. I'm confused about that. Like, you never saw a picture, you never heard his voice and thought, he sounds kind of like Desmond, like Tambra, man, or I don't know, like, but okay. So messy, just messy boots, honey. Just the cat is out the bag, and those are Tasha's words, not mine. So we get to the high fashion tea at Latrice's house, and she says she needs a break because Cliff been talking all this baby talk. She tired of it. She just can't, she need a break. So it's not your usual tea party, she says. Like, this is going to be a different type of tea. It's not going to be tea at the door because she don't like tea or coffee. So Melanie, Latrice's assistant, she's running late as usual, according to Letitia. Letitia says she just don't know why Melanie can't get nowhere. Latrice, says she don't know why Melanie can't get anywhere on time because she is a stallion out here. So I don't know if she should be galloping like a horse because she a stallion, because she's 6'2", according to Latrice, and she don't know why she can't be on time. But Melanie show up late and looking good because that's what I do. I'm late, teen, tall people might run a little late. Maybe that's it. But so Melanie gets there, and they're in the kitchen, and they talk about who RSVP'd, and Latrice lets her know that SOGUCCI, which is going to be the new Belle, did RSVP, and she will be in attendance. So we meet SOGUCCI, which is Sophia Otis Williams, honey. Sophia Otis Williams. She makes sure to tell us her whole government name. So she's the top real estate agent in Mississippi. She had $1 million worth of listings sold last year or recently. She and Latrice knew each other from, through their husbands, and Latrice makes sure to let us know that they've been knowing each other since before she was born. And we all know that Cliff is 20 years older than Latrice. Latrice got to throw that shade. So Latrice says she did, that SOGUCCI did sell her first real estate property. So they become friends, and they've known each other for a while. SOGUCCI is also a personal trainer, and she says she got the perfect body, the perfect life, and the funniest husband. Okay, she says she knows she got it all, honey. So Tambra shows up, and Tambra finds out that the tea is not tea, that these are shots, because Latrice made sure that the tea was 80 proof. So Letitia arrives next, and Latrice says she wanted to show some friendship and camaraderie due to what's going on in Letitia's life. So she know Letitia going through something. So Gucci in her confessional already throwing shade at Letitia, like real fast, talking about she wanted to lick her finger and slick down Latrice's edges. Girl, I don't know who out here licking their fingers and licking other people's edges. You just need to tell her about her edges or something. I'm not licking none. There's too much COVID, monkeypox, and all that stuff going around. But okay. And while we're talking, I'm not feeling so Gucci dressed, that big bow in the front. I don't know. I like the color, but that bow was throwing me off. So she even did the finger licking motion when it came to them edges with the tongue to the edges. But anyway, so Latrice says, to Melanie, "Oh, your girls look extra perky today." And so that, I guess that's the opening to talk about Latrice's new job, new work she had done, which she has named Grace and Mercy Jr., because that's what Letitia's girls are named, Grace and Mercy, and hers are Grace and Mercy Jr. Oh, just how cute. So Letitia looks around and says, "Is this everybody? Everybody come?" And she sees some empty chairs. And Latrice is like, "See, all these names are gonna trip me up. It's gonna take a minute." So Latrice says, "Yeah, that's everybody." And Letitia like, "Well, I know why Marie wasn't invited." Yeah, we know why Marie wasn't invited. About Weavegate from season 1, honey. Season 1. Honey, Marie claimed that Latrice was out here selling bad, dry weave and stuff with synthetic hairs in it that was supposed to be natural. Said she paid like $600 for the unit. So that never did get resolved. We hadn't seen that, and we can tell in the reunion from season 1, Marie don't feel Latrice. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. She got to sum me in for Latrice. I'm gonna have to see how this play out in season 2, because they really didn't let it play out in season 1, honey. But Marie referred to Latrice as a little poodle, and that she jealous of any woman that is around her to look better than her. And certain comments. I don't think so. Latrice is very confident, but she is young, and so she's younger than Marie. So sometimes I don't know why these older women out here coming for these younger girls. Don't be hating on her. I feel like it's a little hate, Marie, but I'm gonna have to see how it play out. So let's see. It's no love loss, but Latrice feels like maybe Marie got a problem with her. Due to the reunion, there was some mudslinging and comments made about alleged Medicare, Medicaid fraud, or some kind of fraud. And that's serious with Marie, because she owns a healthcare business. And so that would be a serious allegation for anybody, not even whatever, any allegation like that about fraud and stuff like that, that's serious. But Latrice says she is from the streets, and we don't snitch out here. Snitches get stitches. She says she not doing that. She don't play that stuff, so don't accuse her of nothing like that at all. So suddenly Letitia feels the need. They're talking about, about choosing to be around certain people, positive people, people bringing good energy. And I think that's what Latrice trying to say. Like, if Marie don't like me, she don't have to be around me, and I don't have to be around her. And that's it. Point blank, period. I don't know if she gave her money back on that hair, but Marie says she would buy all of Latrice's hair out of stock. Do it, Marie. Do it. I want to see it. But anyway, let me move on. So they get to talking about their choosing your circle closely and who's around you, and that affects you. And Tambra, tunes in, chimes in and says, "Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that." And suddenly Letitia just gonna ask, "So you still with Desmond?" And Tambra like, "Yeah, of course. We still together." They go on. Tambra's personal life becomes the whole topic of this high fashion tea. Her personal life actually becomes the tea, because this is one of the better scenes. Tambra lets the ladies know about the fact that they weren't using protection, and they've been knowing each other all these years. Honey, Latrice asked her, y'all been together for a century, and for a half a century you've been running around here using a condom. Girl, I can't operate like that. But like I said, I'm not judging. I am not judging Tambra about this. But Tambra says, but Melanie over there is making these faces though next to Letitia, And it was just really cracking me the hell up with them eyes and the faces she was making. I mean, they kind of laugh at Latrice's comment, and Latrice says, the math is not math and it's not adding up. Y'all been knowing each other 100 years. So Tambra feels Letitia is just in her confessional. She says, I don't know, Letitia's maybe just bringing these things up because of what she's going through in her marriage. She may just be feeling some kind of way. So Letitia, they jump back to the high fashion tea, which is not tea. And Letitia does give Tambra advice saying, I just want you to be sure that he's the one for you. And girl, you're not out here just hopping out here like any good friend would say. But I'm kind of with Tysha. How long y'all really been good friends like that for you to claim you just really care? Because are you caring now, or are you caring because Tysha brought you this tea and you know now that Tambra may be a victim of like cheating because he's allegedly cheating with Tysha because he's with Tambra now and he not being honest with Tambra? Maybe that's what's stirring this up. But Letitia goes on, and she brought up the fact that Glenn and his affair 8 years ago and a possible baby being out here. And she says, like, if it is, she wants to know. So Gucci, like, why you want to, either way, it's not going to make you happy. I don't feel like you're going to be any happier whether you find out he does have a baby or not. I don't feel like you're going to, that's going to improve anything for you. And I agree with So Gucci with that. And I understand where she's coming from. But she says, Letitia says, well, if it was his baby girl, I would want to take the baby. Oh, you could have heard a pin drop. So Gucci, like, girl, no, in her confessional, like, that's his baby. Right. That's their baby. They gonna rock it. I wouldn't be taking no baby. He made a baby. He would be dealing with a baby. Why would you want to take a baby? So I don't know what Letitia talking about, like wanting to take this baby. I don't know anything about this alleged baby, if it is a baby. So we'll see, because I don't know why she would just say take the baby. You can't just take somebody baby, girl, because she had a baby by your man. You can't just do that. So back at after the high fashion tea, that's the end of that. They roll us back to later on. We get to Letitia's at her office, back at her very nice office. I really did comment on, I really did like that. I mean, and I did comment on that in other photos. But so she's FaceTiming Marie, and Marie is telling her, I'm doing okay. So I guess Letitia's just calling to check on her since, everything going on in her life. So Glenn pops up and Glenn pops up with flowers and he's smiling. And, they sit down to talk. And I guess this is continuing the conversation from when they exchanged the son, and they're going to have a talk now. They're alone. And Glenn is confident and smiling because probably flowers worked in the past when he cheated on her, or he because this seems like this has been something that's gone on over and over. So they sit down and he says, he's very proud of her and he likes her new office space. And she don't seem at all impressed by Glenn. And she's like, really? Are you? She don't believe that he's really impressed or proud of her. He's proud. She feels like he always have been. He's saying what he's saying what he thinks she wants to hear in order to get back home. But so anyway, he said, why would you think that? Why would you think I wouldn't be happy for you? So he feels like, well, is this all new? Do you feel like this, that I'm not happy for you because you've been doing all this new self-love in air quotes? And Letitia's like, really, Glenn, this is, why do you, now I wonder, really, are you, proud of me because of the way you're acting? Like, why do you have to use air quotes when talking about self-care? Self-care is important. And she says, you only care now because I left. You didn't care before. You didn't seem to care about my goals and dreams then. So Glenn says, I never intended to like finesse you or anything. I never wanted to go back and forth and back and forth. And Letitia said, why? What, to just do everything all do it all over again? Like we said, that doing better and then coming back. She says this is a pattern for him. So he says he is desperate to save his marriage, and he is in his confessional alone, and Letitia is in her confessionals alone. So he says he's desperate to save his marriage, and she said, how much attention does Glenn need? Glenn has that's been a problem. She says he with the cheating in the past, she feel the lack of trust, that she feels the need to check up and call and check on him, because he said the reason why he cheated was because of a lack of attention. Back again to hotel. But anyway, so Letitia says that'll never be enough. What am I going to do? Spend every day, all day calling you, saying, oh, are you okay, Glenn? Are you okay? Are you thinking about cheating, Glenn? Glenn, oh my gosh, are you okay? She's like, no, I'm tired of that. That didn't work before, and it's not going to work this time. So Glenn says, I'm not the villain you make me out to be. And she tells him, I'm not making you out to be a villain. Like, this is literally what you do. This is what you do. We've done this before. And she says, and by the way, I really want to know if this is your baby from this recent cheating incident. And she says, the cheating, you really didn't love your family. Did you really think about it when you were out here having unprotected relations with this woman and whoever else? Because she said, that's not a sign of love, because you came back home to me after doing that. That's not a sign that you love your family as much as you claim you do. So she says that, that's something that's like too much for her. And she says it's hard for her to rebuild trust with him, that this has been a repeated pattern, and she's still going to continue with the separation. And she just doesn't seem like she's changing her mind at this point. And this is only the first episode. So we see coming up in the next episode, we meet the next Belle, which is Akeisha Holly Colon. She's a mother, wife, and president of a nonprofit organization which her family runs. Her husband is a retired NFL football player, Willie Colon. The what they showed after, like what's coming up, is really interesting, because these two new Bells look like they are bringing some spice to Mississippi. I don't know if they're gonna add a little lemon to the Southern tea down there, but we will see. And this is my recap of it. I really enjoyed this episode, and this is my first broadcast, so I may have fumbled and stumbled, but I really like this show. I really like the energy that the ladies are giving. We get to see a version of the South that we don't typically get to see, and this is a new version of the Southern Belle. And thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and have a good day.